Squeak's Rainbow Party, Part 2. Can you remember how excited Squeak was when her mum said she could have a rainbow-themed party? She'd sent out invitations to her guests, asking them to bring a different coloured friend to her party. One was asked to bring a red friend, another an orange, another a yellow, and so on. 7 friends, each one a different colour of the rainbow. In the meantime, Squeak had roped in her little sister Buttercup to help her make rainbow decorations, bunting, and party hats. Squeak had picked flowers in all the colours of the rainbow to make the party table look pretty, and with the help of her mum, she'd planned a rainbow feast for her guests. Now let's find out who the mice invited to Squeak's party. Wally had been asked to bring a red guest, and he knew exactly who to ask. He wasted no time in rushing to the vegetable garden, where he found the ladybird family eating aphids off his lettuce plants. He invited the entire family. Molly invited her art teacher, a beautiful orange butterfly. Isn't she gorgeous? Bubble found his yellow friend quite difficult to track down because Loftus the milkweed locust is constantly on the move. Beans found his green guest with ease. Loftus and Billy the stink bug don't get invited to parties very often because they're both rather smelly. They give off a noxious odour when touched, and both were very quick to accept their invitations. Buttercup got quite dizzy watching her blue guest buzzing frantically from one flower to another. Mrs. Neon Cuckoo Bee spends her day pollinating flowers. She's a career girl and lays her eggs in the nests of other bee species because she's not very good with children. The indigo spiky flower mantis was so well camouflaged that finding her was very time-consuming. She looked like a pretty flower on a branch. The velvet black ants were much easier to find. Although they are black, when the light shines on them at the right way, they do look a little bit violet. Oh my, what colourful guests they all are. They look so different, but they have one thing in common. Do you know what it is? All the guests are insects. What makes an insect an insect? Well, let's look at the characteristics which all insects share. Insects have 3 body parts: a head, a thorax or chest, and an abdomen or tummy. Each insect has 3 pairs of legs, which are attached to the thorax, antennae, compound eyes, and mouthpieces. Let's take a closer look. Here's Loftus the milkweed locust. If we zoom in, we can find that Loftus has 2 feelers or antennae at the front of his head. These help him make sense of the world around him. Antennae or feelers have important sensory functions which include touch, smell, and in some cases, hearing. Loftus has a very big compound eye. But what does that actually mean? When we use the word compound, we mean that something is made up of many parts, like this jigsaw puzzle. Mammals, like you and I, have simple eyes with one lens and retina. Insects have eyes which are made up of many lenses and many retina. Imagine hundreds of tiny eyes in one big eye. Compound eyes allow insects to see in more than one direction at a time. Insect eyes have a wider scope than ours do. Insects have mouth parts which you can see, but these differ between different types of insects depending on what they can eat. The spiky flower mantis has mouth parts suitable for chewing and munching other insects, whereas the butterfly has a mouthpiece suitable for drinking nectar from flowers. The thorax is the body part which is found between the insect's head and abdomen. It is the part of the insect's body to which the insect's legs and wings are attached. Loftus has a long black tummy with yellow stripes on it. Another word for abdomen is tummy or stomach. So now we know that all insects have 3 body parts: a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. They have antennae and visible mouth parts and 3 pairs of legs. Now, have you ever held an insect? What did it feel like? That's right, it felt hard and spiky. Have you ever patted a cat? I bet it felt all soft and warm. You see, mammals are vertebrae with endoskeletons or skeletons inside their bodies, whereas insects and snails have skeletons on the outside of their body called an exoskeleton. We'll learn more about endo and exoskeletons another time. I don't know about you, but I think insects are a very interesting group of animals. While the mice and their insect guests enjoy Squeak's rainbow party, let's look at some of the new words which we used in today's story. Can you remember that Loftus and Billy the stink bug give off a noxious odor? Noxious means harmful or unpleasant. An odor is a smell. So a noxious odor is a very unpleasant smell. That's why the little mouse is covering her nose with a handkerchief. The spiky flower mantis was so well camouflaged that she was difficult to find. Camouflage is when animals blend in with their surroundings so they are not seen by other living things. Can you spot the owl in this photograph? He's very well camouflaged. His colouring allows him to blend in with his surroundings. He looks just like the bark on a tree. Squeak could not have wished for a better party. It's been perfect in every way. We'll leave the mice and their friends for today. If you have time, perhaps you can ask a grown-up to help you make a sensory colour bottle using a recycled plastic bottle, water, food colouring and baby oil. You can shake up the colours, see how they blend together to make new colours, and then let them settle out again. Or how about creating mini rainbow masterpieces by drawing with water-soluble markers on aluminium foil? Here are the links to the activities. Have fun and see you soon!